You think living rent-free is impossible? Cool. Let me show you 10 small U.S. towns literally offering free land and houses to anyone willing to move there. These are not scams, not timeshares, and not places where your payment is living next to a cursed cemetery. Well, maybe one has that vibe, but we will get to it. Most people assume free housing died when the frontier closed, and homesteading became a historical footnote. But scattered across America are actual towns so desperate for residents they will give you property for free. We are talking real houses, with walls and land attached. The catch? There is always a catch. Maybe the town is dying so hard it makes ghost towns look populated. Maybe the nearest job is 90 miles away and the local economy runs on hope and gas station coffee. Or maybe the winters are so brutal you will understand why previous residents just gave up and left. Or subscribe now because one day you might need an escape plan, and knowing where free property exists could change everything. These are real programs in real towns offering actual free land and houses, and yes, they are genuinely desperate enough to make this work. Let us break down where you can live for free and what you are really signing up for. Lincoln, Kansas will give you free land if you build a house on it within a year. This town has about 1,200 people. Out sits in the middle of Kansas farm country and decided years ago that dying slowly was worse than trying something radical. So they started giving away residential lots to anyone willing to build and stay. Here is how Lincoln works. You apply for a free lot through the city program. If approved, you get land worth about $15,000 at no cost. The requirement is you must build a house worth at least $150,000 within 1 year and live there. Property taxes are low, also around $1,500 annually depending on your build. The cost of living is about 20% below the national average. Housing construction costs are cheaper here than urban areas, but $150,000 is still $150,000. The job market is agriculture, small business, and whatever you bring with you. Many participants work remotely or are retirees with savings. The nearest city of any size is Salina, about 20 miles away. Lincoln has basic services, one grocery store, a few restaurants, and small-town amenities that cover essentials without providing much variety. The catch is you are committing to building a house in rural Kansas within 12 months. If you fail to complete construction or meet requirements, you forfeit the land. The town is small enough that everyone knows everyone, which is either comforting or suffocating, depending on your personality. Winters are cold and windy. Summers are hot. Entertainment is whatever you create, because Lincoln is not offering nightlife beyond high school football games. Someone who took the deal said they built a modest ranch house for $160,000, lived through construction stress, and now own property free and clear except for their build costs. They work remotely, adjusted to small-town life, and save money on cost of living. They also drive 20 minutes for Target, know their mail carrier by name. And accepted that Lincoln requires embracing rural simplicity. The land was free. The lifestyle is optional based on your tolerance for small-town Kansas. In plain terms, Lincoln offers free land if you can fund construction and commit to rural Kansas living. The opportunity is real. The isolation is guaranteed. Curtis, Nebraska has a similar program where they give you free lots if you build within 2 years. This town has about 900 people, sits in southwestern Nebraska farm country, and knows it needs new residents to survive. So like Lincoln, they decided giving away land beats watching the town disappear. Here is the Curtis breakdown. You apply through the city for a residential lot. If approved, you get land free that is worth roughly $10,000. You must build a house worth at least $120,000 within 2 years. Property taxes are low, under $1,200 annually for most builds. The cost of living is about 25% below the national average. Construction costs are manageable. but you still need $120,000 to meet the building requirement. The job market is agriculture, the local community college, and small business. Curtis is home to Nebraska College of Technical Agriculture, which provides some employment and gives the town a slight education presence. Many program participants are retirees, remote workers, or people with portable income. The catch is, Curtis makes Lincoln look metropolitan. You are in rural Nebraska, where the nearest city of any size requires serious driving. The population is under 1,000, which means limited services, one grocery store, minimal dining, and entertainment that involves high school sports or your own creativity. Winters are harsh with wind and snow. Summers are hot and dry. You are committing to frontier-adjacent living in exchange for free land. One couple who moved there said they built a small house for $125,000, retired early, and now live mortgage-free with minimal expenses. They garden, know everyone in town, and drive 60 miles for anything beyond basics. They also deal with winter storms that shut things down, summer heat that makes a sea essential, and isolation that requires being genuinely comfortable with small populations. The land was free. The trade-off is living somewhere most people have never heard of and would not consider. Curtis offers free land if you can build and handle extreme rural Nebraska life. The opportunity is legitimate. The location is remote enough to require serious consideration. Marquette, Kansas will give you free lots in a town of about 600 people that is so small it makes other small towns feel like cities. This community sits in central Kansas farm country and launched a free land program because the alternative was eventual extinction. They are not hiding the desperation. They need residents or the town dies. Here is how Marquette works. You apply for a free residential lot through the city program. If approved, you get land at no cost that would otherwise sit empty forever. You must build a house within a reasonable time frame, usually within 1 to 2 years, depending on the specific lot. The building requirement is less strict than Lincoln or Curtis, with minimum values around $80,000 to $100,000. Property taxes are extremely low because the town is tiny, and property values reflect that. Almost cost of living is about 30% below the national average. The job market is whatever you bring or create. Agriculture dominates the area. Some residents commute to Salina, about 30 miles away. Many are retirees or remote workers. Local employment options are minimal because the entire town is 600 people. The catch is, Marquette is legitimately tiny. You are not moving to a small town. You are moving to a village where everyone knows everyone. Privacy is theoretical. And services are extremely limited. The nearest hospital, major grocery, or any significant amenities require driving to larger towns. Winters are brutal. Summers are oppressive. You are committing to frontier-level isolation in exchange for free land and rock-bottom living costs. Someone who relocated said they built a small house for $90,000 on their free lot, retired comfortably, and live on almost nothing. They also acknowledge that Marquette is not for everyone, or even most people. Grocery shopping requires planning. Medical care requires driving. Entertainment is reading, gardening, or staring at fields. They love it because they wanted isolation and minimal costs. Others would find it unbearable within a week. Marquette offers free land if you want extreme rural Kansas living and can fund a modest build. The land is free. The isolation is comprehensive. Mankato, Kansas has about 850 people and offers free lots to anyone willing to build and stay. This town sits in north-central Kansas, exists primarily because it is there, and launched a free land program to stop population decline from erasing them completely. Here is the Mankato situation. You apply for free residential lots through the city. If approved, you get land at no cost worth about $10,000 to $12,000. You must build a house meeting minimum requirements, usually around $100,000 value within 1 to 2 years. Property taxes are low, under $1,000 annually for most properties. The cost of living is about 28% below the national average because everything in rural Kansas is cheap except getting out of rural Kansas. The job market is agriculture, small business, or remote work. Local employment is minimal. Many residents are retirees with pensions or savings. The nearest larger town is Beloit, about 30 miles away. Mankato has basic services but requires driving for anything beyond essential. Oh, the catch is Mankato is small enough that the entire town fits in one long conversation. You are moving to deep rural Kansas where winters are freezing, summers are sweltering, and entertainment is whatever you invent. The town is safe, quiet, and requires enjoying simplicity because complexity does not exist here. One retiree who took the deal said they built a ranch house for $105,000, live mortgage-free, and spend almost nothing. They also drive constantly because Mankato does not have much beyond a post office and grain elevator. They fish at nearby lakes, read extensively, and adjusted to life where doing nothing is the primary activity. The land was free. The lifestyle is minimalist by necessity. Mankato offers free land if you can build and embrace tiny town Kansas living. The opportunity is real. The population is small enough that you will know everyone by name within a month. New Richland. Minnesota will give you free lots if you build within a set time frame. This town has about 1,200 people, sits in southern Minnesota farm country, and decided giving away land was better than watching young families move to cities. So they launched a program targeting anyone willing to build and stay. Here is how New Richland works. You apply for free residential lots through the city housing program. If approved, you get land worth roughly $15,000 at no cost. You must build a house meeting minimum square footage and value requirements, typically around $140,000 within 1 year. Property taxes are moderate for Minnesota, around $2,000 annually. The cost of living is about 15% below the national average. The job market includes agriculture, small manufacturing, and whatever you bring. Many program participants work remotely or commute to nearby towns. Waseca is about 15 miles away and offers more employment options. New Richland has basic services and a grocery store, schools, and small town amenities. The catch is you are committing to southern Minnesota winters that are genuinely harsh. Snow, cold, and wind define half the year. Summers are nice but short. The town is small, which means limited dining, entertainment, and services beyond basics. You need to be comfortable with rural Midwestern living where simplicity is the default. Someone who built there said they constructed a house for $145,000, got free land, and now raise kids in a safe small town. They work remotely, adjusted to winter that lasts forever, and appreciate low crime and tight community. They also drive 30 minutes for Target, know everyone at the local cafe, and accepted that New Richland is quiet by design. The land was free. The winters are long. New Richland offers free land if you can handle Minnesota winters and fund construction. The program is legitimate. The cold is guaranteed. Osborne. Kansas gives you free lots in a town of about 1,400 people that sits in north-central Kansas farm country. This community launched a free land program years ago to attract new residents and stabilize population decline. They need people, and they are willing to give away property to get them. Here is the Osborne breakdown. You apply through the city for residential lots. If approved, you get free land worth about $12,000. You must build a house meeting minimum requirements, usually around $120,000 value within 2 years. Property taxes are low, under $1,500 annually. The cost of living is about 25% below the national average. The job market is agriculture, local business, and remote work. Osborne has a hospital, which provides some healthcare employment. Otherwise, job options are limited. Many residents commute to larger towns or work independently. The catch is Osborne is small, rural, and requires appreciating simplicity. The town has basic services but limited variety. Winters are cold and harsh. Summers are hot and dry. Entertainment is high school sports, local events, or whatever you create. You are moving to farm country where the pace is slow and the population is aging. One family who moved there said they built for $125,000, got free land, and now live mortgage-free with minimal expenses. They work remotely, homeschool their kids, and appreciate safety and community. They also drive frequently for anything beyond basics, deal with extreme weather, and accepted that Osborne is not offering urban amenities. The land was free. The lifestyle is decidedly rural. Osborne offers free land if you can build and handle small-town Kansas living. The program exists. The isolation is real. Harmony, Minnesota has about 1,000 people and offers free lots to anyone willing to build and commit to the community. This town sits in southeastern Minnesota near the Iowa border. Exists in bluff country with actual scenery and launched a housing program to attract residents before the population dropped too far. Here is how Harmony works. You apply for free residential lots through the city. If approved, you get land at no cost worth about $15,000. You must build a house meeting minimum requirements, typically around $130,000 within 1 to 2 years. Property taxes are moderate, around $1,800 annually. The cost of living is about 18% below the national average. The job market is agriculture, tourism related to nearby Amish communities, and small business. Harmony markets itself as a tourist destination because of proximity to Amish country and bike trails. Local employment is limited but slightly more diverse than pure farm towns. Many residents work remotely or commute to Rochester, about 40 miles away. The catch is, Harmony is small, rural, and requires handling Minnesota winters that are cold and snowy. The town has character and scenery compared to flatland Kansas towns, but it is still a population of 1,000 in farm country. Services are basic. Entertainment is limited. You need to appreciate small-town Midwestern life to thrive here. Someone who built there said they got free land, constructed a house for $135,000, and now live in a scenic area with low costs. They work remotely, bike the local trails, and adjusted to winters that require snowblowers and patience. They also know everyone in town, drive for major shopping, and accepted that Harmony is quiet and small. The land was free. The winters are intense. Harmony offers free land if you can build and embrace southeastern Minnesota living. The scenery is better than flat Kansas. The cold is just as real. Marne, Iowa will give you free lots in a town so small it makes every other place on this list look crowded. This community has about 150 people, sits in southwestern Iowa, and launched a free land program because the alternative was becoming an actual ghost town. They need residents desperately, and the free land reflects that desperation. Here is the Marne situation. You apply through the city for free residential lots. If approved, you get land at no cost that would otherwise sit vacant forever. Building requirements are less strict than larger programs, with minimum values around $120,000 within 2 years. Our property taxes are extremely low because the town is tiny. The cost of living is about 30% below the national average. The job market is whatever you bring. Marne has essentially no local employment beyond agriculture. Most residents commute to Atlantic, about 10 miles away, or work remotely. The town has minimal services because 150 people cannot support much infrastructure. The catch is, Marne is legitimately one of the smallest towns offering free land. You are not moving to a small town. You are moving to a hamlet where privacy is impossible and services barely exist. The nearest hospital, major grocery, and most amenities require driving to larger towns. Winters are cold, summers are hot. You are committing to extreme rural isolation. One couple who moved there said they built a small house for $125,000, got free land, and now live surrounded by fields with almost no neighbors. They love the isolation and minimal costs. They also acknowledge that most people would find Marne unbearably small. They drive constantly, know all 150 residents personally, and create their own entertainment. The land was free. The isolation is comprehensive. Marne offers free land if you want extreme rural Iowa living and can build. The program is real. The town is barely there. Beatrice, Nebraska has about 12,000 people and offers free lots specifically for relocating businesses or individuals willing to invest in the community. This town is larger than others on this list, sits in southeastern Nebraska, and launched programs to attract economic development and new residents. Here is the Beatrice breakdown. Free lots are available through economic development programs targeting specific types of development. Requirements vary, but typically include building within set timelines and meeting investment thresholds. Property taxes are moderate. The cost of living is about 15% below the national average. The job market is more diverse than tiny towns, including manufacturing, healthcare, education, and retail. Beatrice has a regional hospital, college campus, and services that support 12,000 people. This is not a frontier town. It is a small city with actual infrastructure. The catch is, Beatrice is less desperate than tiny towns, which means free land comes with stricter requirements and competition. You are not just getting free land for showing up. You need to bring economic value, jobs, outdoor investment. The program targets growth, not just population maintenance. Someone who relocated their business there said they got free land, built a facility, and now operate in a town with low costs and willing workforce. They also found Beatrice has amenities that tiny towns lack while maintaining affordable living. It is not urban, but it is not isolated either. The free land required proving their business would contribute. The requirements were stricter, but the town infrastructure made it worthwhile. Beatrice offers free land if you bring economic investment and meet program requirements. It is not a giveaway to anyone. It is strategic recruitment. Elwood, Nebraska has about 700 people and gives you free lots if you build within 2 years. This town sits in south-central Nebraska farm country, launched a free land program to stabilize population, and needs residents willing to build and stay. And here is how Elwood works. You apply for free residential lots through the city. If approved, you get land worth about $10,000 at no cost. You must build a house meeting minimum requirements, typically around $120,000, within 2 years. Property taxes are low, under $1,200 annually. The cost of living is about 28% below the national average. The job market is agriculture, small business, or whatever you bring. Local employment is minimal. Many residents commute to Lexington, about 20 miles away, or work remotely. Elwood has basic services but requires driving for most needs. The catch is, Elwood is small, isolated, and rural even by Nebraska standards. Winters are harsh with wind and snow. Summers are hot and dry. The town is safe and quiet, which is either perfect or boring, depending on your perspective. You need to genuinely appreciate small populations and minimal amenities. One retiree who moved there said they built for $125,000, got free land. And now live on almost nothing. They fish, garden, and read because Elwood does not offer much entertainment. They also drive constantly, know everyone in town, and adjusted to life where simplicity is mandatory. The land was free. The isolation is guaranteed. Elwood offers free land if you can build and handle tiny town Nebraska living. The program is real. The population is small enough that newcomers are immediate local news, be honest. Would you move to a tiny rural town and build a house for free land? Or is isolation and small town life more expensive than any rent payment? Drop your free land tolerance below because we just counted down 10 places actually giving away property if you are willing to relocate. Like this video if you realized free housing still exists in America, if you are willing to compromise on location, population, and proximity to literally anything. Subscribe, because knowing where free land programs exist might change your retirement math or give you an escape plan when rent hits levels that make homesteading look financially smart again.